What's up guys? I hope you guys are crushing it. Today I have a little bit of a treat for you. I'm going to share with you a live Q&A session that we did several months ago now, but I got together with Ilias and Sarah, and after a tournament we just sat down and spontaneously hit the record button and we started answering questions that came through from our followers. So I know the first thing you're asking yourself, you're saying, Jarryd, why didn't I see this live? And the reason is, you dear viewer, you don't follow our Facebook and Instagram page. Now, not to worry, I'm going to link them up in the section below this video. And so whilst I'm going to continue to post the best practical coaching and archery training tips here on YouTube, we also post a lot of daily updates and things like that on our social media pages. So make sure you follow them, links down there. This video, whilst it was just a spontaneous chat, we actually covered a lot of ground. And so I think there's a few golden nuggets in there that you're going to get a lot of value out of. So we cover everything from sponsorship, finance, we cover mindset, we cover a lot of mindset stuff and philosophy. We talk about training programs, we talk about some equipment, how to choose finger tab and fletching, and we also share with you a little bit about our own archery journeys and how it's helped us in our own personal lives. So I hope you enjoy the video. Now you have one more bit of homework that you have to do. Leave some comments for us or leave some questions for us in the comment section rather, because I'd love to do more of these spontaneous videos and some live Q&A sessions and interviews and things like that. So if you have some great questions and you leave them for us in the comment section, we'll be sure to include them in the next video. So yeah, enjoy.
I feel it.
Yeah. And we're live. Yeah.
Just getting ready, man.
I kind of want to touch it.
Yeah, come on. How's it feel? Isn't that cool?
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's good, man.
Is it a bit lush?
For a bloke.
Yeah.
Smells good too. Yeah.
Very clean.
We can get you a sponsorship from Pantene Pro.
Okay, so shall we start? Yes, we're looking for sponsors for Paris 2024. Anyone want to jump on live? Yeah.
Pantene Pro V for you. Who's your sponsor of choice?
I'm okay with that.
Hard to believe with hair that now looks this healthy and shiny. I got it with new Pantene Pro V Treatment Conditioner. Try it. I use it every day.
Bank of something.
Yeah, banks have got cash. Yeah.
I don't need shampoo.
ANZ, Australia, New Zealand Bank.
I'd go Bendigo.
Yeah.
They seem legit.
Is there a Greek bank? Well, by the way, guys, we're just having a little chat. There's a couple of people watching us. Hello.
How's it going?
We got Sarah Fuller, we got Ilias the Greek, and we got me. And we just thought we just finished a shoot here at Centenary and thought we'd go live and let you guys ask us some questions. So jump in the chat if you have anything you want to ask us. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us loud and clear, hopefully. And ask us anything. At the moment, we're talking about Ilias's sponsor of choice.
Oh yeah, I like that. Greek banks are bankrupt, bro.
Okay, so don't get sponsored by a Greek
Let's not do that. But if there are Greek banks with money, yes. I don't know where this reach goes, bro. But yeah, we're hitting up people.
It's broad, yeah.
We're hitting up people who want to be part of unity, you know? Bring together unity and evolution and more love.
Okay.
And gangster vibes on the archery range.
Gangsters, yeah.
Okay. I like that. Like, do we need to explain what that means to the public?
Yeah, let's explain it.
Yeah, gangster is a term that we use in the team that's like, you know, hipster, you know, men with beards and drinking cool coffee at coffee clubs. It's like gangster, hipster.
I feel like gangster is more of an attitude.
Okay, it's an attitude.
like it's a lifestyle. You know, so when you're shooting gangster, like you own it.
It's a hell yes.
Yeah, it's a hell yes.
I like that.
Yeah, what do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, it's a hell yes.
It's evolving over this conversation, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I'm good with that. I'm happy with that explanation.
So have you guys got any questions or
well, let's touch on the topic of sponsorship then, because
Sure.
Ilias is really keen to talk about it. So
yeah.
the topic of sponsorship, I've managed to get myself lots of sponsorship over the last couple of years, and it's only because you are bold enough to go out and ask somebody for it, and then but you also have to prove to them, you know, what you can do with that sponsorship. Like here's one right here.
Excite.
Like X-Wings, for example. So hi Ben, if you're watching, is you approach the person and you need to tell them what you can do with their equipment. You know, you're on social media, you're taking photos, you're doing chats about their products and things like that. So
it's two
ways,
directional, right?
really. Oh, sorry.
Come in. We
Come
want
in.
you closer to us, Sarah.
I was trying to sneak out. Yeah, it's definitely two ways. If they give you free stuff to use, you must,
promote it.
Offer
It's, two directions,
offer
yeah.
something.
It's a
Promote it,
business
for sure.
relationship,
It is.
essentially, and you need to offer something in return for the sponsorship. And so who are your sponsors? Can you share?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
X-Wings, Benjamin, Fivix for the bows, Ramrods for the stabilizers, Black Mamba, so the tab, the red tab that you always see me shooting. I've been with them for like 10 years now, I think. So there's probably a few other little ones that I can't remember quite the second, which is really poor of me. But.
And so probably one thing that, like some people have a perception that like professional archers are like, millionaires and have a 60-foot yacht and will, drink cognac on the deck of it every evening.
It's going to be me.
No.
Yes. Well, you only have a 40-foot yacht, so we're just going to bust that myth wide open. But
Can we get invited? Like, I don't know.
There's like different levels for sure. There's obviously the professionals who shoot for money and who get paid for money for shooting and things like that. Then there's like another step down, which is like, as an example, myself, I get lots of free stuff from sponsors. Obviously, it's not money, and I still have a full-time job, so I don't consider myself a professional at all. I still have to go and work a 40-hour week, so I'm just very, very lucky to get free sponsorship, free items to use and to promote and to use on my social media, and hopefully that makes some sales for somebody else. Or
Okay.
and
I got questions, man.
Yeah,
I want
go
to
for
jump
it.
in at this
Go for
point. What made you choose Fivix, for instance, as a brand to have?
it was an up-and-coming brand at that time. So at the time when I got the bows, they were coming up through the ranks again. So Fivix at that stage, let's say 5 years ago, as an example, were a lot smaller than they were now. Their gear is just amazing. It's always been amazing, and their range has got a lot bigger.
they've been one of, like a few years ago, I remember they really stepped everything up because there was like kind of Hoyt and Win in the top bracket, and that was about it. And now Fivix, like obviously Mara Nespoli won silver in Tokyo with the Fivix. Who else was there? Were a bunch of people.
The French Thomas Chirul had a Fivix.
Yep.
A couple of chicks had Fivix.
And apart from all these guys, Sarah shoots Fivix. So as if it's any more reason than that. But yeah,
I like the look of their bows.
I think they look really amazing, like I do, and they shoot really, really well.
Yeah.
And they've got a range of arrows now as well, which are right up there in regards to, if you compare them to...
Fivix is not sponsoring this live stream, by the way.
If you compare them to like an X-Wing an X10, for example, an Eastern X10, in comparison with the material that they use and the layers of carbon that they have and manufacturing differences,
the tolerances are tight.
The tolerances are so tight, so they're really, really doing really well.
So let's hold that thought, because we've got a question from Victor Vukovic. G'day, Vic.
How are you, man?
So his question was, how often do you recommend getting personal coaching for beginners wanting to progress to intermediate and competition? Excellent question.
Great question, man.
Is he still there? Give us a thumbs up if you're still there, Vic. I see at least one person is still watching us. So what do you guys think, first of all? So like your experiences with coaching and particularly someone who's maybe, we're going to assume, make some assumptions here. Let's say you've done a beginner's course, you're a part of a club, and you want to work towards, say, your first competition. What do you guys think? And I certainly have views on this that I'm happy to share, but what do you guys think about the process and how you go about getting coaching and that sort of thing?
Well, as in my personal experience, you were the first one I contacted, and I mentioned to Jarryd in the first 3 lines, I want to win gold at the Olympics of Paris. So I think intention setting was really important, because then you're like, okay, let's do this, or not your guy, or. So basically, what I can tell you about that is that within one conversation with Jarryd, there was a roadmap planned out, at least psychologically for me, to go about my days. And I'm not so physically close to Jarryd. Like, I live far away and I live in another club. And so we've had a lot of contact over social media. But I must say, I've found it very helpful. Yes, I'd love personal up close, once a week, maybe an hour would be great. Check my form, touch me here, do these things. We haven't done that much at all. Yet there's still been progression through our check-ins.
So that was an interesting thing. That's what I think you're talking about, is value alignment.
Yeah.
So you need a coach who you can trust, but also I think a coach who is aligned with your goals, and that you have quite audacious goals. So especially at that level, you want a coach who's aligned and can take you, partner with you through the way. But Sarah, do you have thoughts on this? And then I'm going to share mine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much on the same page as Ilias. You have to know what you want, and you have to find a coach that can do it for you or with you. So
with you, that's a good way of saying it.
With you. So
because coaching is a two-directional relationship.
Absolutely. If you're a beginner and you know that you want to progress really, really quickly and you want to go and shoot internationally, I'd be getting coaching maybe between a beginner and intermediate area, sort of maybe 2 times a week if I could. And then once I've progressed past that intermediate, I'll be like, I myself was getting coaching 3 to 4 days a week, and I just wanted to do as much as I could in a short amount of time. But yeah, you definitely have to find somebody whose goals align with yours.
So that's a really interesting point, because we've just talked to 2 ambitious top archers who are like very goal oriented, and that's not exactly the question, but I think we get into what he asked.
Yeah, go for it.
Because if I put on my experience as a coach, my hat as a coach, like you guys, out of the team, you guys are the ones here competing and going towards goals. One of the issues that, going from a beginner to intermediate archer, a lot of those archers have is not setting a goal. Whereas you guys have clearly defined goals, so it's very easy for you to find that coach who is aligned with that goal. Whereas a lot of people who are, as Vic says, going from a beginner to an intermediate, may be working towards a competition. I'm not sure if this is not Vic, if you do have a defined goal or not. But sometimes they say, if I ask them what's your goal, they often say, I don't know. And so I think it is important to have a goal. Now, you get to define your own goal, right? So it's not up to your coach to tell you what your goal is. You need to set your goal and then have a coach who is aligned with that. And your goals can change and evolve, and your coaches can change and evolve, and you can work with multiple people throughout your journey, which is cool. But I think that's important. Even if, like, you might not say, I want to win Olympic gold, that might not be your goal. For most people it isn't. But everyone wants to improve in the sport of archery. And so I think you should set some sort of goal, define it, and then seek a coach who can help you towards that goal. Because without a goal, you can't align yourself with a coach. And also, the answer to Vic's actual question, the literal answer is, it depends. How often do you recommend coaching? Well, if you're going for gold at Paris 2024, how often do you recommend it? Every single day if you can. But if you just want to shoot the local indoor club shoot in 2 months' time, well, you can probably just check in once a week or once every couple of weeks, get a couple of pointers, and that's fine too. So,
both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, there's a spectrum. So,
cool.
what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I would say a minimum weekly check-in would be great. Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's a form analysis or doing this, social media seems to be more accessible these days, and I get value. Like when you guys jump on and do these sessions and I'm available, it's like awesome connection. See others, see tweaks, you get to see live stuff going on. I love it. So yeah, I'd encourage that at least once a week and see how that works, and adapt and evolve and see what's available for you as well. I'm not sure where you are. Where do you know where Vic lives, or is that an international?
I don't know. I can't really see the icon. I might even know Vic, but
let us know where you live or what country.
Who's with us? Ask us some more questions, guys. That was a really good one about coaching.
That was cool.
Ask us anything. About archery, maybe, or whatever.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready. I've got a question.
Okay, go for it.
All right, man. When are we doing a tuning series, Jarryd?
Okay. So sorry, someone's like shutting up a thing in there. Hopefully the audio is not terrible. So it's tuning series. Ilias has been hitting me up about this for a while because he's got all the gear. We've been working on form a lot, but we haven't done a lot of tuning stuff. And so was your question about when we're gonna do it, or when am I gonna produce like an online one or like part of the masterclass course?
Yeah, let's use this as masterclass. We want to promote Jarryd's course here too, So yes, absolutely.
Sponsored by the Rogue Archery
Yeah.
Masterclass. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So my intention for that is I want to do that, but I've just released the Technique Fundamentals course. And so at the moment, I want to make that, I want to give that the attention it deserves at the moment. And that's gone so well so far. I don't want to just take my attention off it just yet.
Yeah.
So a tuning masterclass course is definitely in the works.
Okay.
Where I want to take you through basically everything from unboxing a bow to assembling it,
Love it.
setting it up, and then tuning it.
I like it.
I think the intention for that is maybe when someone gets a new bow. You going to buy a new bow so we can set it up?
Yeah, I just did, bro.
There you go.
Oh, we did it the other night.
Yeah, we did too. And so I think like that can be broken down into bow setup, and then bow tuning as like two components.
Awesome.
So,
and there's a question on talent. When are we doing string workshops?
Well, whenever we can fix some dates to get together, and we can.
Well, we're together now. We're gonna do
We
it.
can probably do it on.
whenever you can string some
We
dates
could
together.
stream it. No.
Did I do that, or did you?
Yeah,
do
that was really good.
I saw the opportunity. I don't know.
Good job. Cool.
Whenever the club's open and we can get access to a string jig, and when we're all in the same place.
Yeah, I love that.
So you make strings, Sarah. How
I
do you make strings?
Oh, I make strings through lots of experience and lots of failure. If I make a string, I'll make 3 strings and I'll chuck out 1 because one of them is not going to be.
It's not very sustainable.
Well, I might give it to a child.
Okay, yeah. You'll donate it to
But
someone.
yeah, I will always make 3, and I'll hate one of them, so I'll give it to somebody else because it doesn't fit. Because my string is very specific. It's 163.5 centimeters, and it must have 16 twists in it.
Can I make a point about that?
Please.
Because I know you're like a little bit of a perfectionist, which is good for archery.
Sure.
Thanks.
Now, when it comes to equipment, I'm of the view that you set up your equipment to the point where you're confident in it, and no more. Like you don't touch it. You know what I mean? You got to tune your bow to the point where you're confident that you can shoot 10s, it's forgiving. You know, you can group well with it. You know that.
Yep.
And then don't fiddle with it anymore.
Yep.
And I think like the fact that you make your own string, so you have confidence in the string that you're shooting is important.
Yeah.
And then also, so like even if someone else made a string that was technically better than the string you made for yourself, the fact that you have confidence in your string is worth more than the string itself.
Yeah.
So the fact that you make 3 and then you throw 1 out, I actually think is like part of your mental calibration to like have confidence in your equipment.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
If you're not confident in that 3rd string, don't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd always be questioning, what is that noise because of my string? Or did that arrow go that way because of my string? I won't use it.
Okay, I like that. I like putting my own energy into my own equipment and then
I agree.
shoot my own arrows, etc., etc. I think there's a real synergistic energy with that. So I don't have a string that I've made yet,
But we will.
but I'm
it's coming.
excited about it. I'll tell you that.
Ask us some more
Options
questions,
are
guys.
Black and black.
White and black. I have purple.
No, black and
Red.
black.
Red.
Black. I don't have any red.
So I have to buy some red. Is that what you're saying?
What sort
Jarryd?
of string do you recommend he should purchase?
Yeah.
Okay, good question. So the question was, what string should he purchase and what string material?
Yes.
The short answer is, I don't care.
Right.
So I'll go to Lincraft. What are you talking about?
I use Fast Flight and Halo.
All right.
Yeah, so that's the string material, the strand material, and the serving material. Now, what do I use at the moment? Okay, so I don't think there's points to be gained from shooting Angel Majesty, 8125G, Fast Flight, whatever. They're all recurve string materials. They all have the right sort of elastic properties and stuff. If you can make it well and you tune it to that, it'll shoot great. So there's a bit of personal preference allowed. That's totally cool. I don't think it's super important that you have one string material over the other. I think it's more important that it's made well and that it's tuned well than what you shoot.
Yep.
So at the moment you're shooting
Fast Flight and Halo.
I'm shooting Fast Flight and Halo, but on the end serving I use Diamondback because it's a little bit more durable at the ends.
Okay.
And
I use Halo all 3.
Halo is like a nice compromise between durable and clean off the fingers. Then the Diamondback is like a bit more grippy and a bit more durable.
Okay. Well, between us sounds like we're going to make
I've tried BCY as well, and I prefer the Halo. Yeah.
I like the sound of the halo. Reminds me of Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus here.
Yeah, that's me.
The Greek Jesus. So we've got a question from Ranjit. Hey mate, how can we contact you for some knowledge sharing? We're doing it right now.
Yeah, jump in, bro. We welcome you.
Yeah.
Ask a question.
Ask some questions. We're knowledge sharing right now. And
Otherwise, if you wanted to actually get hold of him,
Yeah.
there is a website.
there's a website, roguearchery.com.au. There's the masterclass course if you're a little bit more serious about it. So then that's archerymasterclass.com, and you're on my Facebook page here, so you can message me through there. We've got the Instagram page. My phone number is literally on my website. So
Wow.
I'm not that hard to track down, man.
Okay.
How responsive are you to, like, say
100%.
someone just
100%.
Okay.
just straight up, like someone contacts you, you get back to them within.
Yeah, so it depends. So
Yeah.
I get these days, now
Yeah.
that business is booming, baby.
Yeah,
No,
nice, bro. Keep it coming.
But at first, okay, so I respond to all good questions. I get a lot of inquiries through the website where people are asking questions about information that's like just on the website. They haven't looked, and
Yeah.
I'll give them a bit of a response of like I'll link them to where they can find the information.
Sure.
But I don't like babysitting people.
Good.
Just personally haven't made an effort to find the information themselves when I've made the effort to put it out there for them.
Yeah.
But for people who actually have genuine questions and reach out to me and make the effort, I'll always match that. So that's a philosophy that I have is I'll match your commitment. So
Nice.
if you're going out, you're doing the training, you have a program, you have a genuine question, I'm here to help. But if you abuse my time, then I'm not going to respond to that. So
Respect, huh?
yeah.
Nice. Well, he's saying it as it is. No fluffy stuff with Jarryd. I like it.
Yeah, we're not going to filter it.
Yeah.
And
And I think archery is one of those sports where you do it because you want to keep evolving and becoming a better human. Otherwise, it's not going to work, I think.
I think so.
So, hope you guys are inspired by that.
It does change you as a person.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I think, like on that, I actually think archery is fundamentally about self-improvement because, like, whatever your weakness is, if your weakness is, like, it could be mental or physical, right? So if you have issues with patience, you will come,
Hi.
you will come face to face with that, like on day one in archery, right?
Yeah.
If you have issues with discipline, if you have issues with time management, if you have issues with confidence, like you have to overcome these things to actually, as you progress through your archery journey.
Yeah.
So I actually think that just the pursuit of archery is actually quite a noble one because it's you have to improve yourself as a person to do it. We've got another question.
Yay.
DJ, hey mate. Hey guys, for vanes, spin wings or normal, such as AA plastifetch vanes, offset, straight or helical. So there's a few parts to that. There's spin wings or normal, and then offset or helical. Offset, straight or helical.
We're talking about recurve, I hope.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Let's break
it down. We're all recurvers here, so.
And I know DJ is also a recurver.
Okay, cool.
So let's tackle it from recurve. I actually don't think whether recurve or compound, the helical or offset doesn't change the theory of it.
I don't think the theory of it changes, no. Not at all.
What do you think, Sarah?
I think we're going to get locked in.
Great.
In the car park?
Yeah.
They'll wave at us. We can relocate this to a coffee shop if we need to.
When I was a beginner, I shot a fixed, flat, straight, glued on fletch, and that was great. While I was learning, really, really durable, never going to come off. We're going to get yelled at.
We might be kicked off.
Hey, bye.
Hello, guys.
How are ya?
Are we getting kicked off the range?
No, we're not getting kicked off the range.
Oh.
Well, you're in our live stream. Would you like to say hello to the wonderful people of the internet?
Well, not at the moment.
Okay, that's all right.
We'll go, obviously. When you put the bar across, and there's a lock hanging on the gate.
Oh, awesome.
The combination lock, close it up, give it a swirl, everything's good.
Awesome.
No worries. We can handle that. Thank you very much, Trafford.
You too,
See you
bro.
next time. Thanks for judging today.
Blessings. Appreciate it. All right, we're good.
Okay.
We're going to
We're
continue.
good. We're good. So
Back to glued on, straight, plastic fletches that you stuck on there and really durable.
So just when you're getting started,
Yep.
just bang them on.
Beautiful, great for short distances, great for low poundage. You know, and I used them for I think a year or two while I was just learning.
Yep.
And then I went to spin wings, and I've graduated again and I've stayed with X wings for a number of years now. So the spin on the spin wings or the spin on the X wings helps to stabilize your arrow over longer distances, and you know, obviously more poundage, you're going to want to stabilize it as well. Helps to keep it stable in the wind and as it's traveling down that 70-meter range. So I would never go back to myself a helical offset or a straight fletch or anything like that. But there are benefits to them, of course.
Can we just talk about that for a second? Because I think if we talk about the journey of like someone getting into archery, like with say my rookies that I coach or something, they'll all start on just a straight like AAE plaster fletch vein, right? Because you have to set up your equipment like to the level of your skill. So like if you're just a beginner, like you're not going to get the benefit of even the best tuned bow, highest level gear. Like you don't have basic form. You're not going to get the benefit of it. And they're high maintenance, you know, spin wings and all these spin veins, whatever one, they're more high maintenance and that sort of thing. And so I think like what you said, just starting out on that is actually good.
It's really good. It's one less thing to think about.
And I think the benefit of the spin veins is more as you improve your skill. And then also as you go out in distance. So if you're shooting like less than 50 meters and you're just focusing on learning skills to start with, I probably wouldn't think there's a huge amount of benefit to doing that. But once you're out like 50, 70 meters and you're shooting in like wind conditions and things, and you're starting to like, you know, group consistently, then I would say that's probably like the time to start
Looking at something else. Yep.
Now, straight or helical. Now compounds. Okay, so now on this, I actually learned something from Jim Park, who's one of the Australian coaches here, and is pretty well known. So he did a workshop with us, and he ran through some of the aerodynamics. And so actually, what was interesting is particularly with a compound, if the way the arrow twists, it has a natural spin. Might not actually be, if you're right-handed, it might be twisting the other way.
Wow.
And if you're left-handed, it might be twisting like a right-handed archer. So you first have to identify which way the arrow is twisting, and then have your fletches offset to that angle. Otherwise, it's going to start twisting and then destabilize the arrow and try and twist the other way again.
Makes sense.
So I think if you're compound especially, you need to do that first. And the way you do it is just shoot like 2 meters into a butt, and you have your fletches oriented, and then when you shoot, you can see actually whether because it won't have a full fletch rotation, you'll just see which one, you mark a fletch and then you see which way it rotates coming out of the bow. It's pretty easy.
That sounds good. Does recurve suffer a similar consequence, or is it generally spin the same direction?
I think it's generally, this is what we can check.
Check this, man.
We can check it. We can test these things. I think it's with compound more, it's because of the way it comes off the D loop, and it's more, like a recurve has the paradox and things.
Yeah, good point.
So I think that's but with a compound, it's less defined. You might be just sitting on like a fork rest or something, so there's actually a lot less influence from that. So it might be the way that you're really say it or your D loop. I actually don't know anything about compound, so don't listen to me about that.
Yeah, all right.
But
fair enough.
Let's test it.
Can we do some slow-mo up closes? Who's got the best phone here for that? Like,
even like 240 frames per second, I can do.
On your phone?
Even that, like you won't see arrow
you won't
rotation.
See it, really? Well, what do we need? I'll get
so
it.
You need like 1,000 frames per second.
1,000 frames.
There are cameras that can do it. They're thousands of dollars though. Like you don't want to buy one, you want to borrow one. So we got another question. What we got? Oh, it is okay. So thanks DJ. So he's loving it.
Awesome.
Ask us more questions, guys. But yeah, sorry, you were going to say something about that. So what do you think about the arrow, fletches, vein, angle? Do you have an opinion?
Oh yeah, but an opinion is one thing, right? But what I can say about it? Oh, well, for me, I mean, I'm loving the metal X wings. In all honesty, I was doing the original 4-master vein, which everyone uses at the Olympics. Holy shit! I hope that's okay. Is that okay for the channel?
We're not going to edit it out now. Yeah. Language warning. Yeah.
But basically, every shoot, I would do my head in the amount of fletches that I would have to redo.
So is this with the spin wings?
Spin?
Four master spin wings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they're the light ones that are really
Papery.
flimsy, papery.
Yep.
I can't say that at my shooting performance that there's a difference between the X. I just know that these ones look gangster. They match my bow. They're metallic, the red. So that's part of my reasoning for buying half my gear. It looks awesome.
You found the X-Wing a little bit more durable than the spin.
Definitely durable. I haven't changed one, and I haven't had any things fall off yet or, you know, tear because another one came in close. These ones have definitely hit a few times. I know I'm not.
My first stand, I ripped the fletch down on the target.
Ripped one.
Yeah, I just contact
Direct
on the
hit,
target.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Yes.
Boom.
That's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
But okay, back to the gangster thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I actually think that's more significant than you think. Because I think it's more important that you have confidence in your equipment. And if you feel gangster, you know what's that saying? Like you look good, you feel good, you feel good, you shoot good, or something. I don't know.
I embody that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the only thing that I will say maybe changed my opinion of that is I had a sick looking bow with the top of the range limbs, and they were fast as, I was going to say F, but they were fast as hell, right? And just felt like dog shit. And then I bought some limbs at a right price from Sarah.
Oh, hey.
And then used them, and they are gangster. And their limbs from back, when were they released? 2010 or 11?
Yeah,
or?
So the old limbs, were they the new win and win, the top of the line and
top of the line, well, they're the NSG. They're
NSGs.
a couple, but they're still top of the line for what they are. They're like nearly 1,100 bucks retail.
and they're branded as like the fastest limb
pretty much
in their range,
market.
or whatever. And they probably are. They're really fast.
They are fast, I've got to say.
But they're like, Ilias's feedback has been that they're quite stacky through the clicker range.
Stacky, I get fatigued through the shoot, and they're quite light, and they definitely need a different stabilizer tune. And then the other thing is like they're plasticky. Like, I don't know about you guys, when you feel things, I like things feeling like firm and solid and consistent. These things like ding ding, you can hear it creaking, the carbon, and it's just like, ooh.
And so you've gone back to the X Power limbs, which is Winnowind's flagship limb from like, I think they were literally in 2012 or 2012.
Yeah, they're an 8 to 10 year old limb.
And actually, so people were still shooting them in Tokyo.
At the Olympics
They're
in
still
Tokyo.
good.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And so like technology hasn't changed that much.
I agree with this.
And I think like, it's more important that it's set up well and it's tuned well than it's actually.
Yeah.
So like I shoot a boat that's like 6 years old and it's better than I am. I mean, like it's great. It's tuned well, so I'm confident in it. So I don't touch it.
Good.
Thank you.
Ask us some questions, guys. So there've been some good questions so far.
Yeah,
we've got
thanks
a few people
heaps.
with us. Yeah, so you can ask us about training, you can ask us about coaching, you can ask about equipment. Yeah.
I want to talk about this thing that archers used this analogy earlier. They haven't got yachts and they don't have this, and they work fucking 3 jobs just to be able to shoot at a local shoot. Well, can we please, can we rejig that?
So you want a yacht?
I wouldn't mind a yacht. Why not?
Yeah.
I want a jet airplane, man. Like, I got a pilot.
So tell us. That's cool. So
I use it.
I'm open to this. So I'm not averse to like making money, and that's fine. So where do you think the opportunity is, or what are you getting at? What's your question?
My question is, when's the financial Rogue Archery masterclass coming up, according to what I'm hearing right now?
How to make money from archery?
Well, it doesn't have to be archery, but I'm saying the abundance mindset to be able to do.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I think, okay, here's my business model, right?
Yes,
it's simple as.
Yeah.
Help one person, make $1.
Okay.
Help 1 million people, make $1 million.
Okay.
So look, as simple as it sounds, you know, you are worth the value you add to people.
Okay.
So you can make money through a couple of ways. You can add a lot of value by solving a big problem for like one person. You know, so maybe you can, if you're a corporate lawyer, you can stop Commonwealth Bank being sued by the government, and you can charge millions of dollars of fees because you're solving a big problem for one person. Or you can help millions of people, and you can solve a little problem for a lot of, or for whatever. So I think it's important, not just about money, but it's money is a value exchange. So what are you giving back, or what are you providing for that? Okay. And so where is the value in archery? I think it's in that pursuit. This is my personal approach, and what my business is centered around is in, I think archery is an awesome sport for personal development. I think it's challenging physically and mentally and emotionally, and it requires constant problem solving. Yeah. And so I think it's an awesome pursuit, and I want to share that with people. So I have beginner programs, I have advanced coaching programs, I have school programs, and that's going awesome because people get a lot of value out of it. So that's the way I see it going forward. And so I think a lot of, okay, let me say this and then qualify it. I think a lot of athletes have a really bad understanding of money. And a lot of even top athletes, they're the best in the world at what they do, and they're dead broke because they're like bleeding artists that, why won't anyone pay me to do what I'm doing? I'm the best in the world, I should be paid. But they don't understand that you need to add value through what you're doing.
That's a good point.
And
I
so
like that.
if let's say you're a Brady Ellison, the value you're adding is in your brand by shooting a Hoyt or a nose button at the Olympics. People go out and buy that gear because he has a brand that he's built up based on his performance. That's value that he's adding. And that's genuine. I don't think for most archers, even very, very high level archers, I think that's really hard to make money through that avenue. Sure. I think you have to find a new way how you can add value to the world.
I agree with that, man. Yeah. So can we mastermind that?
Yeah, open to it.
Because I want to be abundant and be able to shoot and go to Paris and have fun and have yous come and hang out on my yacht while I'm in Paris shooting, and not be in a dingy IKEA sort of decked out hotel with compartments. I want to enjoy life. Come on. So this is the thing that I want to challenge you.
You want to fly first class to Paris?
Absolutely. I want to be resting and sleeping as I get to the tournament and rock up having sipped some champagne or something instead of economy and go, crikey, got to shoot now.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the reason I say that, and the reason I don't like this guy much, right? Conor McGregor, but he definitely changed the game of mixed martial arts. Yeah. And I think that there's maybe ways to do that where it's more loving and kind and inclusive and stuff, and maybe even help others to grow and evolve themselves. And that's what I'm hearing from you today. And that's what I'm maybe inspired to look at and go, what are my gifts to offer? Because I want to bring people aligned with this journey that I'm seeing to enjoy the whole fucking journey. You don't have to, excuse the language there, but you don't have to be an Olympian to enjoy the journey of coming along with us and having a great time and experiencing it. That's what I'm thinking these days.
What do you think about that, Sarah? Do you have any opinions on the...
I think we covered that really well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's two different ways of making money. One's through, we live in the wrong country, being that our government doesn't pay us to shoot. Or there's the other way, from the sponsorship, like you were talking with Brady Ellison. So he's paid by whoever his sponsors are, and he's made his own brand. So there's multiple ways of doing it, but it's just a matter of doing it.
I mean, it raises more questions hearing that. For me, when I heard that from Sarah just now, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to Greece. Well, I'm going to shoot a European circuit because it's going to help my archery career, and I might get paid, and I'll be in competition. We shot two back-to-back days tournaments here. And I'm like, this should happen all the time.
Yeah.
But how often does it happen in Australia, mind you? Everything's just got cancelled for the second year in a row here.
Well, okay, let me offer you guys a question.
Please.
And this is something to ponder. Like, the answer isn't always immediately obvious with this sort of thing. But, where's the hidden opportunity? Because, yes, you're right. We don't have a huge archery community in Australia. It's pretty small in terms of the population, and it's kind of niche, and we don't have a lot of competitions, and we don't have sophisticated coaching pathways, and all these things. There's other places around the world that struggle more than us. Does that create any opportunities?
Obviously.
Exactly. And that's the answer. Because on the flip side of every barrier is an opportunity. And if you can be the one to solve that problem, that's your value.
Well,
so, yeah.
Okay, are you saying you're going to start up a new league and pay people and stuff?
Well, I feel like I'm already doing it. Like I have a beginner league where, we're bringing people into the sport. I have had friction through clubs. I've been quite transparent about this. That, my club didn't always support me, and still isn't in some ways about running, beginner programs and development programs and things like that. So that's why I went rogue. That's what rogue archery is, guys. So sometimes you just got to go rogue to get it done. And the feedback, it's been successful because it adds value to people, and so that's an opportunity to go out and create that experience, an opportunity for people to get into the sport, and share that with people.
Awesome.
So I think on the flip side of every barrier is an opportunity, and if you can find that, you can tap into it. You can
and have the courage, and have the courage to follow through on it, because what I don't know you long, bro, but I can feel for the amount of resistance that you've had to move through to get to where you are, and there's still a lot of it around.
And here's there is.
So,
but let's not be transparent about that, because let's be transparent about that.
Be transparent,
because but let's not gloss over it.
Sure,
is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Is because this is why when people say do what you're passionate about. It's true, but not in the way that you think, because you're passionate. You can't always monetize a passion, but if what you try and monetize you're not passionate about, as soon as it gets difficult, as soon as you come up against a barrier, you're just gonna fold, because it gets hard, right? Like there have been real times when it would have been much easier in my life just to give up, stop coaching, just shoot for myself, not really rock the boat or anything. But because it's my passion, I've pushed for it, and that's why. So you can't succeed at something if you're not passionate about it. But
look, I can't affirm that you can or you can't. What I can say is that in my experience, yes, definitely. Going through 10 years of business in catering, for instance, and making sweets and stuff, and there's no way. I look back, I'm like, oh my God, everyone told me everything that I was going to experience, and I still did it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely that fire that was like, I'm going to seek solution. I'm going to find this. I'm up against the wall. My back is, being pinned this way, but I'm like, okay, well,
you go with it.
Left, right, up, down, over, crash through sometimes. We'll find ways.
G'day, Ray. Welcome, mate.
Yeah.
Ask us some questions, guys. We're having a good chat here. We're going down the rabbit hole. So I don't know if you guys are enjoying this or not, but we're having a good time.
Noppa.
So ask us some questions. We're having a chat with Sarah Fuller, Ilias the Greek, and myself, Jarryd the Great.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'm just Sarah Fuller.
well, give us a gangster name.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I'll come up with some random questions if it'll help.
So we came up with this idea because Ilias always asks really good questions, but we just answer it in person, and you guys don't get the opportunity to experience this. So we're almost going to start a series, questions with Ilias.
Yeah, bring it. I'm willing to do a podcast with you, bro.
We need to come up with a jingle for that, but
Why did you get into archery?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, Sarah, busting it out. I love it. All right. Why did I get into archery? All right, you ready for the real reason? This is going to be quite spiritual and like hoo-ha and out there, right?
Cool,
We're good for that? Because, for those who don't know me, like that is the reason I'm here on this existence. It's pretty much a spiritual evolution that's happening for me. So when I first got involved in that way, I did some yoga, and then I came across this path with shamanic medicines, which are medicines from ancient indigenous cultures, and namely in the USA, so Cherokee and Lakota tribes. A teacher came out and said, okay, we're in a sweat lodge, and I'm like, okay, well, what's my spiritual name? And she came back with Archer of the Night. And I was like, Archer of the Night. Now, I was like baking baklava at that time, a Greek out the back of Byron Bay hippie wearing rainbow. I'm like, Archer of the Night? What's that going to do for me? And so she shared an image, and it was like a full moon with me on the precipice of like a cliff in full form with this bow and arrow. And I'm like, she's tripping.
And so was that the catalyst for you to like go sign up for your beginner's course? Or
Well,
like, what
no.
was- okay.
Years went by, and I'm just like, Archer, can
But
we
it stuck
change
with
my
you.
name?
It stuck with you.
Well, it did. I
Yeah.
mean, I used it. I used that name for years, right?
Yeah.
Until one day, I was at a medieval festival, the biggest one in Australia, Abbey Medieval Festival. Have you been to it? If you haven't, I recommend going to this. It is really like a walk back into time space, right? And
People get right into it, right?
oh
Like,
man, like
yeah.
I was so ready to go. I had like this whole costume.
You had the costume?
And it got cancelled.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I do recommend getting to this while it's on and happening. It is amazing. Okay, so I went there to cater. So I'm like, oh, yes.
So for those
baklava.
of you that don't know, Ilias the Greek, his business is in making like Greek sweets and like deliciousness and baklava and like, yeah, if you have an opportunity to try his baklava.
So I haven't made a lot of that recently with all this COVID stuff. I haven't worked in 2 years basically because we only serve at festivals, right? So we love that environment of connecting with people in that way. So anyway, I was at this festival and they literally were firing cannons and having sword fights, and they were full armored like knights going at it, like full bore. And I'm like, I want to do this. And I found somewhere where there was an archery range and you could just grab a bow and shoot it. I'm like, all right, I could do that in between 5 minutes of eating and getting back to customers. Give me the bow. So I'm shooting. I shot King Arthur in the head. Like, I was like, I want a bow.
Archer
I
of the
want
night,
arrows.
right? Yeah.
So the guy next to the actual archery range, he came over and he's like, oh, looks like you're having fun. And I'm like, yeah, how much for a bow and arrows? And he's like, well, come with me. And he's like, this is the Ayrton Senna model right here, $500 and I'll give you some arrows. I was like, here you go, let's go. Grabbed some gear, went back to my stall. I don't think it was a good first investment. I think the guy just saw me coming from a mile away. I definitely would take more time and ask more questions before buying equipment.
Yes, please.
So, but basically I got excited is what I want to say. I went home with those bow and arrows, and I went home and I shot, and I didn't stop. I just kept shooting. It was the shit. It probably is the shittest bow I've ever had. And when I took it to a club, they're like, "You paid what for this?" Oh my
It was
god!
probably the guy probably got him off Alibaba for $50 each or something.
I think he just got a straight stick and bent it, and he's like, $500.
Well, hold on. We've uncovered a couple of things here because I
Yeah.
think we've also answered the question about how to make money from archery. Sell bows to rookies like Ilias at the Abbey Medieval Festival.
Well, there's not enough of me around, but yeah, but you could.
No,
do that. Yeah.
no. In all seriousness, though, in Australia, you'd be surprised how many bows are sitting in people's garages, under their beds, gathering dust.
Yeah, true.
Everyone has a bow
So true.
stashed at home somewhere. So
true.
anyway.
So to answer your question, the inspiration was probably physically from that festival. Because
That's
I
awesome.
got a visceral experience. I got to handle a bow. I got to shoot something and feel like I was successful at it, and that gave me motivation to.
Isn't it interesting how we get into it in different ways, but like where that experience can lead you? So like ask us questions, guys. Like I see we've got a few people with us. We're just here chatting about archery and life and all kinds of fun stuff. But ask us anything you like. Sarah, what was your experience getting into archery? And
Yeah.
hold on, come into frame. We're
I'm sneaking out.
getting
I'm
comfortable,
sneaking
but yeah.
I started archery about 17 years ago now.
17.
And I started,
Oh, they're about the same as me. Probably sick.
okay, maybe 16.
Okay.
So I started a while ago, and I started because my friend Max, that I was living with, she'd signed up to an archery class just down the road from us, so we went after work. We both shot that one evening, and I was like, all
Was
right.
this a beginner's course type thing?
Yeah, like
Yep.
inside a hall, 10 meters, and ended up being my very first coach anyway. Yeah, it was, we both shot that first night, and then Max never went back, and I went back for more, like just more and more and more. So I've never stopped since then, really. So, but I did find that my shooting sort of calmed me down as a person. I was like literally going to probably end up in jail if I had not started shooting. I was a very aggressive person. I was the kind of person who would throw scissors around a room, and it taught me a lot of patience. It taught me to be calm. It taught me to have direction, which is really, really powerful. it's definitely changed me as a person. I honestly wouldn't know what I would be doing now if I hadn't have started shooting. So it can definitely give you some good direction.
That's sort of like we were talking about before, right? Like whatever your weakness is as a, weakness, we all have weaknesses, right? Like whatever it is for you, or whatever you're challenged with, you have to face that through archery.
Yeah.
Because, like patience, like what are you going to do? You're going to shoot a 7 and then throw your bow down the range? Like I know people who've done that. We've all sort of had the temptation time to time, but you have to reel it in to, in archery, and I think that's a good thing. So
yeah, it's definitely mellowed me out as a person. I've met a lot of people that I wouldn't normally have met. Confidence, as you touched on before, I had no confidence before, or I don't think I did, but definitely have confidence now.
You found your confidence.
I found my confidence. I'm still an introverted person, but I can still sit in front of you and have a conversation, and I know exactly what to do. But yeah, it's life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. Anything to do with sport is life-changing.
I think my experience getting started in archery sounds like very similar to yours. Because about 17 years ago, and then again I was pretty low self-confidence. I was just like a teenager, and then I went with a friend, and then I kept going back, and they sort of dropped off pretty quick, and then went from there. So I think maybe that's why we gel so well. Cause, that was a very similar journey actually.
He puts up with me.
She's a character on the range, yes, absolutely. But wouldn't change a thing about her or Jarryd or even me. I think we're
even
eclectic mix.
I like it. I like shooting with you guys.
Wasn't it fun today? Like we're on the shooting range. Everyone's like pretty serious. Like got their game faces on, and we're there having a good time. Heckling on the shoot, like all in good fun, right?
Yeah.
It was cool. Perfect.
Yeah. And I think it's because we bring fun to training as well, and bring fun to competitions, which is important.
You have to enjoy it.
If you have fun, you'll come back. If you come back, you'll learn. And if you make training like a chore, or if you make it, like a grind. Like obviously there's elements to it which you have to sort of dig deep and you have to grind it out. But you have to enjoy the process, I think, in archery.
I love it. I feel like it's very PG rated, isn't it?
Like the live stream? Yeah, we're going to try and keep it PG. Maybe M.
Films rated M are recommended for mature audiences, 15 years and older.
M helps. So I feel it's very, like for me, moment to moment, shot to shot, it's very orgasmic. Like there's a build up, there's tension, there's release, and all these elements, if I think about it, is kind of like, it just keeps me, motivated to find out, shot to shot. It's like, okay. And then, some shot errors, and you can get upset and, cut and really get off kilter. But what I think's happened by doing this is that it tempers the spirit or the soul or the mindset or. And then moment, like that focused attention that I've gotten from archery, from the limited time I've had with you guys, ripples out into all aspects of my life. And then people comment about those things and reflect it back to me, and I'm like, you're more patient, you're more settled, you're more grounded. And I'm like, what have I done in the years since I've seen this person consistently? And
actually, okay, so that's opened up a whole nother thing. We're having a good chat here, guys.
Well,
I don't know if we're answering your questions, but we're having a good chat.
Hopefully you're entertained at the very minimum. I'm going to dance in a little bit too.
Yeah, no worries. Just leave your clothes on this time. So on that, so you're saying people notice it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about how your shooting and like your mental health and like everything is like linked together.
Yeah.
Because on our training programs, we have you guys know what I'm talking
about. Smiley faces.
The smiley faces. So on our training programs, under each day, where you plan your training program for the week, and then you have obviously you mark it off as you go, and then at the end of the day, you tick off, was it a smiley face, neutral face, or frowny face? Good, bad, or average day. And people often ask me, and in the group we had a question this week
good point.
about, is that, do I shoot well, or did I have a good day just mentally? How do I feel? And they're one and the same, basically. That's my experience. And from talking to like hundreds of people, that's pretty much the same. If you are, oh, there you go. Yeah, see if you can see that. Put it nice and close.
Is that focused? I don't really know if it's focused.
I don't think so.
No.
But they get the idea.
Anyway.
That's Sarah's training program from this week, I presume. And I'll post some later too. But yeah, like if you're having a good day, you'll shoot well, or if you shoot well, you'll have a good day.
Yeah.
Whereas and I've also noticed this with competition performance, which is important, because let's say you've done, you need to have your life in order to perform well. Because let's say it's always like a battle between time management, financial commitment, family, social life, and archery, right? And so let's say you're doing all the training for a competition, and so you're sacrificing or compromising on other areas of your life, and so you end up being stressed out about work, fighting with your spouse or your partner, neglecting your social life, and just there's sort of turbulence in your life. That stress translates into your shooting, and you shoot like crap. That's not just me. What was that?
100%. Yep. If you don't close that drawer,
yeah.
If you're angry before you get to archery and you don't close that off, you're just going to shoot like crap. It's really hard to not bring that with you, but there's processes that you can do. Like I call it putting it in a drawer. So if I've had a crap day at work and I still have to go to training, I will put that crap day in a drawer and lock the drawer and go to training. You can't take it with you.
There's like some mental tips and like hacks on how to deal with that, but like I like that, like put it in a drawer and lock it away. There's other
helps when he puts my stuff in a drawer
and throw away the key. Yeah.
And yeah, it's very subjective, obviously, because that works for Sarah, and maybe it's different for Ilias, maybe different for Jarryd.
It'll 100% be different for every person.
Yeah, totally. And so I suppose what I'm hearing is to find what works for the individual. Like we can suggest things by having a live stream, and then everyone can go out and test it and make it knowledge that works for them. That's what I think we're offering by talking today, and maybe creating some inspiration for ourselves as well. For me personally, I got to say, some of the most valuable moments I've had that I recall now this question's been posed is things like rocking up to a tournament and shooting like absolute dog shit and coming up with these excuses, and maybe having Jarryd say something like, if you're going to be at the Olympics, like you got to shoot within 1 arrow, 10. So you got to be able to snap out of it. And I think when I heard that, I allowed myself the permission to try that out. Up until then, it was a stacked, I've got to, and this, and therefore, and maybe. And when that doesn't align, and there the wheels fall off the bus, what are you going to do? And then I've shot some of my best scores when I've rocked up, totally fatigued, 4-hour traffic jam, literally busting to go to the toilet, and they're waiting for me at the QRE start time. They're like, Ilias, you got to, I'm like, I've got to go to the toilet. They're like, you got to do it on the way to the freaking signing. and I shot my best score. And just got in and did it,
Yep.
And so I love that, and I love being challenged, because I think a lot of this is mindset, and that's the reason I love archery. We can talk about physical form and spend years perfecting that, but actually
allowing yourself to do it.
I think it's really, this stuff.
And what I heard in that was like it's a process of self-discovery, because like you said, you're different, I'm different, you're different. And so you need to like figure out what works for you. Like we can have some strategies, but you need to understand yourself in order for it to work.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
We had a couple of questions. Let's tackle these. So Ray was asking a question about how to size a finger tab without being able to access an archery shop, and he's looking at a fair weather tab, either medium or large, and maybe not sure which one is right.
This is a really good question.
In respect to a fair weather tab?
Well, he's asking about a fair weather tab, but I think the process would be the same, whichever tab you're tackling.
One thing I found that when I started trying to find the right tab is if I knew what the measurement of the palm plate was on the internet, I would get a piece of cardboard and make it the same size as the palm plate. And then can I do what I need to do with that piece of cardboard on my hand? I mean, it's not perfect, because if you were talking about a fair weather tab, it's got an integrated shelf already. There are different ways around it, like Jarryd's bought a small palm plate and a medium leather, I think that's what it was. But there are definitely ways around it. If you can find the measurements online and you know that you might be interested in, I don't know, I use Black Mamba, it comes in one size. You can't really mess that up. But if you were talking about like a win-and-win finger tab or a Fivix finger tab, find the measurements online, get yourself a piece of cardboard, make it the same size as that piece of cardboard, and see if that fits into your shot routine. It's not going to be perfect, but at least you can try. And with leather, you can trim it down. With shelves, you can interchange them sometimes or take them off. But in regards to the fair weather tab, that's where you take over in regards to that ring thing.
Well, yeah, the Fairweather tab, the ring itself, Simon has some information on his website about how to get the ring size, and you literally just measure the diameter of your finger in a certain way, and that's on the website. That's all I did. That works well. As for the plate size, yes, that actually I like that idea of cutting out the cardboard, because I think you can usually get the measurements of the tab dimensions off their website or specifications. Although even so, like I've always had trouble getting the right tab to fit with my anchor, because with the anchor position, the primary reference point is the top of the hand along the jawline. The secondary reference point is the string on the face, and the tertiary reference point is the thumb into the neck. And what's the fourth? How do you say the fourth? Primary, secondary, tertiary. What's the quad? Yeah, the least important factor is the tab reference point on your face. And often, if the plate is too long, I often find that it digs in and prevents me from getting the face pressure that I want with the hand, with the primary reference point. And so I went with the Fairweather tab, and I went with the medium size, but it was a touch too long in my hand. I don't know if it's just got a funny hand, funny anchor, funny whatever, but it was digging into my face. But because it's a modular tab, I changed it to the small face plate, and that worked really well for me.
With medium leathers. With
medium leathers and a small face plate. The other thing that you could, I mean, the obvious answer is if there's someone at your club or range who has a tab, I would just go and just put them on your hand and just see how if they can let you try it out. That's a, you know, obviously the sort of the best, other than going to an archery shop. But yeah, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, sure. So very similar story with Jarryd, and I want to also ask you to clarify, did you go to a shop to get your original measurement? Okay, I did go to a shop, and I still ended up with a medium and it's a size 20 ring and leathers. So I had tried it, and I was like, this is the one, and the guy in the counter's like, this is the one. And then I'm talking to Jarryd and going, it feels freaking weird, and he's like, well, this is what I did. So I'm just saying, like, a shop may not even help in this instance. Trying, I think, is what really helps. So if I was to do it again, I'd go, oh, Jarryd, can I try your finger tab? And he might say, no, I don't want you to stuff my leathers up or something. And then I'll go, oh, can I maybe change the front leather on yours with mine? Anyway, we'll find a solution to that. But if you could do that, I would think that would be wise, because you may, I don't know, I've got so much archery equipment at home just sitting there because I buy things and try it. But actually, if I just, hey, Sarah, can I try this first? Or Jarryd, probably save me thousands. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like, with that sort of thing, finger tab is very personal. What are you pointing at?
More questions.
Oh, he's asking about the plate and leather sizes rather than the ring.
Plate and leather. I think Sarah got it. I did see a video. If you can try to get somewhere halfway in between both the index. Whoops.
Show me. Show that.
So yeah, I wonder if we're going to get this sorted. So if you get a tab that sort of starts halfway in between these two fingers, right? That's kind of like, from my hand, that is the small in the Fairweather. The medium was slightly bigger. Yeah. Like, it went longer. It actually probably went to the bottom of my bottom one.
I mean, I've never thought of it like that.
Sure.
If that works, that's
for me.
Cool. Yeah.
For me, I'm going to own that.
The other thing, I have found that there's other people who have a similar hand size to, I think, me, but shoot a large tab. And so, yeah, I think it does depend also on how you set up your tab, how you set up your anchor, and that sort of thing. And I think it's, in terms of trying out a few different tabs, I think it's probably worthwhile getting the right one. And I feel like it's like buying shoes, right? Like buying shoes off the internet.
I had to buy a few. I definitely had to buy a few and try a few, for sure, to get what I felt was right. And even with my Black Mamba one, what Ilias was saying as well, is I start halfway through that index finger there, and my tab finishes halfway through that
the plate
ring.
itself.
The plate itself, for sure. So the plate itself is not big, and it doesn't need to be like this big and out here. You definitely have to use this part of your hand as your reference, and you don't want the metal to be coming out any further than that. And with the leather, you can trim that leather back to suit as well. So yeah, really important.
Good question.
To find something.
It is. It's a great question. And to add one more thing, if you get larger leathers, you can always cut them down, and then smaller, then try to go up. So that's another. But with a plate size, I think it's going to be a little bit of hit and miss and trial and error. because they make them with shelf and without shelf on the fair weather.
Yep.
They've got the option.
Depending on where you get them from too, I actually found that the plates, like when you order the fair weather, if we're just talking about fair weather tabs,
just fair weather,
you know, when you order replacement leathers, it's the same cost I found to order the leathers or the leather and the faceplate. So
just get them.
You could literally just buy a second set of faceplates and just play around with it.
I'll give you my mediums.
There you go. Message Ilias the Greek.
Message me, bro.
He will send you.
I'll send you mediums
his
wherever
mediums.
you are. Happy to do that.
And I've got some spare smalls now, so you know, maybe we'll just hook you up.
All right.
It's a good question. Any other questions, guys? Dial in. We're sitting in the sun now.
Actually, no. Ray, get in touch with me. Like, really, I invite you just to connect with me. I've got so much gear, and it might just save you. And I feel good because it's getting used, mate. You know.
There you go. It's worth dialing into these things.
Wow, we're doing giveaways now, man.
Exactly.
Hey?
What are you going to give away, Sarah?
I got like 5 risers.
Civics. Yeah, you go. Who wants Sarah's risers?
No, probably not. I've probably got 4 risers now that I'm not using, and sets of limbs and sets of stabilizers.
I want to go.
Old fingertips.
Oh, Marcus has come in when we talk about free bows. Hey, Marcus. Hey, buddy.
How are you, man?
You don't need anything free. I know you.
Yeah, that guy's got plenty of gear. How you going, mate? Ask us questions, Marcus. You're welcome, Ray.
There was another question underneath that. Can we scroll back?
I think, let's have a look at this question.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a comment than a question.
All right.
I think the question was around... yeah, I think there was just some comments. DJ was admiring our weather, which is awesome. Yeah, we've got pretty good weather today. Yeah, cool. So, what were we talking about? Tabs.
Yeah, man.
Free stuff.
Free stuff, giveaways. We might have to run a bit of a giveaway competition or something. I'm not going to, give away a riser for free, but maybe you guys can, you know, earn one by going live or something yourself.
I'll do a free yoga session for all these peeps. There's some energy exchange
cool.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do a live yoga session with Ilias one day. Ray's asking, can you be my friend? We're already friends, Ray. I feel like we're already friends.
Can you friend me? Yeah, absolutely. Are you tagging us? Are we tagged on
Oh,
this?
he might mean like friends on Facebook. So
yeah. It's a good idea. Let's connect, man. Absolutely, bro.
Look up Ilias Katsapukaitis.
Jesus, bro. You're challenging these people with their dialects as well. He's going to tag this, correct?
I'll leave a comment
it.
tagging him.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll look you up on Facebook and then I'll show the screen.
You do that.
Yeah.
DJ's left-handed, so that faceplate's.
Is it? Oh, okay. I hear you, bro. Well, you know, we did speak about this with... Actually, well, how about we talk about this? Remember when I first met you and I'm like, why don't we shoot left and right hand?
There you go. That's who you're looking for.
I think the camera's actually reversed because it's a front-facing camera, though. So it's going to be even. If you can decipher the backwards Ilias Katsapukaitis, you deserve a free tab.
Well, if you can say that, you're a legend.
I've practiced.
Have you?
So you're saying about something?
Yeah. Well, when I first met you, do you remember when I was saying to you that I was actually shooting left and right hand with just those longbows that I had, because I had an ambidextrous bow, one bow that I could shoot left or right handed, and I think I posed that question to you. It's like, why not train ambidextrous and then go to the Olympics? And I think this is the answer that I thought I heard. Don't quote me on this. Was like the time it would take you to master one, you'd probably be in your old age to be able to do it on both sides. I wonder if that's still current for you as your...
Yeah, so okay, so do you want my official answer?
Absolutely,
do you want my official answer?
I want official,
I think
man.
it would be a good balance of muscles for sure, but yes, please, amuse us.
Okay, amuse you. All right, well, no. The short answer is no. You should not train left-handed, I mean, unless you want to do it for fun. But there's no benefit from an athletic point of view, because a couple of things. Okay, the benefit that's you might say, and is logical perhaps, to say that it's balancing out the asymmetry of shooting right-handed.
Yep.
You know, because archery is an asymmetrical sport in the coronal plane, which is this side to this side, and so if you shoot left-handed, then you can balance that out. But if you're a serious archer and you're shooting, let's say 200 arrows plus a day, like, are you going to train 200 arrows plus left-handed to balance that out? Probably not. Okay, so that's we'll just dismiss it with that. But if you're still convinced, let me convince you even more. The other thing
I do
is
400 a day.
archery is an asymmetrical sport in more than one plane. This plane and also so there's a coronal plane and there's a sagittal plane, front to back. And so it's asymmetrical in both of those planes, and it doesn't address that. As well as it actually doesn't address the short range of motion that you're working through in archery. We do this, get in the camera, we do this over and over again. We don't work through the full range of the shoulder girdle. We don't open up the glenohumeral joint through its full range of motion. And if you don't train through the full range of motion, then you're going to invite shoulder injuries and overuse injuries over time. So what we do is we train archery specific through SPT and shooting and build up strength that way. To balance it out, that's what strength training is for.
Okay.
And you do your symmetrical work both in unilateral and bilateral strength exercises. And that balances it out. And through a well-designed strength program, you can actually address the mobility issues and the range of motion, work through the full range of motion.
Okay.
So that's a technical answer. And actually, the question you should be asking, rather than when is the bow tuning series coming out on the masterclass, you should be asking, when is the strength training for archery series coming out? Because that's more important. And I think there's plenty of guidelines online and things already about how to tune a bow. I'm certainly happy to do my own take on that. But you guys in comments let us know what you think. But I actually think one I'm more excited to do is strength training for archery. There's some, oh my God, look up on YouTube strength training for archery. There's some atrocious videos and guides, like really bad advice out there, guys. And I think also even some really high level athletes are pretty unsophisticated with their strength training.
Cool, man.
So I think that's something that I can add more value to than just how to tune a bow.
I'm pleased to hear that. And so I want to see you on your newly built, home-built calisthenics gym, bro. Yes. And that might get me inspired to do something and bust it out at home. Yeah. I've got something similar with more organic things, like off a tree and slack lining and stuff. So
that's
maybe we can mix it up.
Let's definitely do that.
I might live you while I'm slacklining and shooting a bow on it.
I missed that.
Slackline?
I have to show you. Tight roping, babe.
Oh yeah, my sister's getting into that, and I'm really good at falling off it.
Okay.
It takes practice, right?
Oh, bro, yeah.
It's interesting because I think I have good balance, but it's different balancing on something that's stable, and you're unstable, to then balancing on something that's unstable, and you have to stabilize it.
Yes.
It's a different level of perception.
It rocks. It rocks this thing, man.
Yeah.
But once you get it, it's
get
pretty fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Oops. I forgot about that.
That's okay.
Beep. It's a bit of a delay.
I'm gonna put a language warning on these in the future, but that's okay. But okay, so that was the symmetrical left-handed practice thing. I'll tell you where I do think left-handed is cool.
Yeah.
If you're a coach, then I think it's cool to pick up a left-handed bow and try and shoot it, because sometimes it's easy to, like when you're teaching a beginner, say, you're trying to explain a new concept. You can make the classic mistake of an expert by forgetting what it's like not to know the things you know. So you can explain it and articulate it perfectly well to a beginner and then get frustrated with yourself. Why aren't they getting it? Why can't they just figure it out? Well, they have no perception of actually what they're trying to do. But when you you can just pick it up and draw it so easily because you've done it 1,000 times. But by doing it left-handed, you know intellectually what to do, but the body has no coordination. And so it's a good way to sort of, I'll just hang up on that. Getting called.
Hey, Dad.
My dad's calling me. Yeah, it's a good way to wake yourself up again to, actually, no, this is what it's like to be a beginner. Even if they know what to do, doing it is a different exercise. So that's where I think more for a fun or a mental exercise to do it, rather than actually from an athletic development point.
I like it. Can we do a left-hand shoot off between us?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
Are you ambidextrous?
Yeah.
How's your eye dominance?
I'm a left eye dominant.
Wow.
So why aren't you shooting left-handed?
Because I don't want to. Well, actually, no. Let me go back. I shoot right-handed and am now right eye dominant because that's what my coach started me with. So when we go back to day one again, where we were talking about before, the same person. He says, which hand do you write with? And I was like, the right hand. He's like, right, let's go. So no, it took me a long time to forget how to use my left eye because I'm left eye dominant right-handed shooter.
Okay.
So now I'm a right eye dominant right-handed shooter. but if I get tired, I'll convert back to my left eye.
Interesting.
That is interesting because as your coach, I never knew that.
You might do a screen
I did
test
tell
next
him.
time, bro.
I just forgot him.
Yeah, I just forgot. So interesting. So because obviously, if I was teaching what would your process be? Let's say you have a beginner and defining whether they should shoot a right or left-handed bow. Considering, yep.
What's that?
So she's referring to an eye dominance test. Do you want to explain it to the?
Yeah,
So you have an
people
eye
listening?
dominance test. So rather than in a come and try day, we just go, oh, what hand do you write with, and that's simple enough. But it's if you're going to commit to one side of left-handed or right-handed shooting, you need to know which is your dominant eye, and you want to continue to use that eye for the whole time. So you have this.
Come in this picture.
Coming.
I want to see
Coming.
this. I want to do this with you. I want to actually try this.
Got my glasses off now. So
Yeah.
you hold this little triangle up, make it reasonably small, and pick a target in the distance, whether it be that kangaroo over there or that kangaroo over there, doesn't matter, or even the screen, and slowly come back to your eye. Your body is going to pick an eye which it's more comfortable looking at that target, which it happens to be the right side now.
If people are just dialing in now and seeing us do this stuff, welcome to the squad. Yep.
So I can actually choose either eye. I'm pretty comfortable picking one or the other, but you will naturally find which eye this little gap in your hand is gonna come back to. You've got to keep your eye on the target, so pick a target in the distance, bring your eye back, and your hands are naturally going to come back to the strongest eye, and your eye is still going to be looking at that target in the distance.
So sorry.
Yeah, I want to just clarify because I'm tripping out, right? You want to have both eyes on that target.
Yeah, so look
right?
with both eyes open,
Yeah.
make it little.
But if it's little, it shuts out one of my eyes.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so hold on.
Okay.
Let's talk about this. So because DJ's asked a question, he's technically right-handed, but he shoots left-handed. And I want to explain like the process I would go through as a coach to define how, because it is possible to get it different. And like Sarah said, at a beginner's course, what we would usually just do, because we have a large group of beginners, we just say, are you right-handed, are you left-handed? Most people, I don't know if there's a scientific reason for this, but most people, their hand dominance and their eye dominance is the same.
It's the same.
So for like 90% of people, you don't even need, you can just give a right-handed archer a right-handed bow. Maybe one or two people out of a group of 20, there might be someone who has a cross eye dominance. So they're right-handed with a left eye dominant, or they're left eye dominant and they're, what did I just say? Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. So in that case, my preference is to get them to shoot with their eye dominance, because you can train the handedness to a degree, but you can't really just train the eye dominance unless it's very close. However, there's an exception, because some people are just about as coordinated as Bambi on ice when they use their non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
And so if you try and get them shooting left-handed, they're just like useless at it. At which point in time, then I'll go back to the hand dominance, but then I will...
you can put an eye patch over.
Either eye patch, close the eye, or like use a blinder or something to try and get that non-dominant eye to take over.
In an ideal world, you'd probably shoot with both of your eyes open, but some people just can't do it, so having an eye patch is a really good idea.
Yeah. So I think
And then you look like a pirate, little gangster on the friggin' line, huh?
Yeah.
I can do almost everything with both hands except for writing and shooting. I can eat left-handed.
Can you use chopsticks left-handed?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
you're
can do pretty much.
ambidextrous.
We're going in eating Asian after this with left hands and chopsticks.
We're going to live stream Sarah eating chopsticks, both left and
What do you
right-handed.
mean? We are. Me and you are going to try that.
What?
Eating left-handed.
Yeah, exactly.
Left-handed chopsticks?
Yes.
I'm getting skinny, mate. If I have to eat left-handed chopsticks,
That's
I'm
the idea.
losing weight.
What do we got?
Can you use a pirate patch for kids to make it fun? That was a suggestion from Ray. Yep. If you wear a pirate patch, you got to talk like a pirate. I like that.
Arr. I'll wear my Greek skirt as well if you want, with a pirate.
That's cool. For the next live stream, Ilias is going to wear his Greek skirt,
And I'll wear my tutu.
and you'll wear your tutu.
Yeah.
I'll wear my space donut pants.
Yeah.
Deal. We got a deal? We're doing a shoot. All right.
I feel like we need the audience to do something in order for us to call it.
Yeah, Marcus, where are you right now?
Yeah.
You
Where
got
are you,
some-
Marcus?
you got
Come
some
on. I want a
tricks.
question from you, bro.
If we get like 5 more questions, maybe we'll do our next live stream wearing our outfits.
All right. I'm up for it, man.
Okay.
I'll get in full regalia, guys.
We got 5 people online. If we get 5
And
questions, we'll,
give them a heads up when we're going to post it so they can be prepared.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, other than just being spontaneous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all cool for being spontaneous.
Of course. And live is live, but it won't be live when people get it, you know?
That's true. That's
So
true.
we want it to be live.
Ilias the pirate.
Yeah, man, you wait till you see
Ilias
me.
the Greek pirate. I
Yeah,
feel like
Greek
that's going to be
pirate, Greek pirate.
one hell of a persona.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our questions? DJ took him 2 weeks to train eye dominance without patch or closing an eye. Yep, good for you. That's good.
That's
Real
gangster,
quick.
bro. Yeah, man.
It's really quick.
Yeah.
I took years.
Really?
Years too, like 2 years of closing one eye in order to just become natural. So good on you. 2 weeks. That's awesome.
All right, we're not seeing any questions flow through. Have we got any other topics we want to talk about before we wrap up? I'm feeling a bit peckish myself.
Yeah,
so
I'd love to eat something. Man.
last chance, guys.
Post archery workshop.
Yeah, if you have any questions, drop them below. Even if we don't make them this time, we can make them at the next live stream. So
Is there anything that you want to see in the future? Do you want to see any? Oh, is there a question?
Yeah.
Marcus is asking, any tournaments upcoming for us? Look forward to catching up with you some stage when it's possible again. Yeah, us too,
Once
mate.
you guys stop having
Yeah,
COVID,
man.
when you stop having COVID, you can come up.
It's your fault.
You stay down there in
What are
Mexico.
you doing?
Hey, Rob's involved as well. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Mr. Turn Up.
Look
How you
forward.
going? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Ask us some questions. We were just talking. What were we talking about? Tournaments coming up.
Yeah,
Well,
Robbie,
Marcus,
when's the next tournament?
Yeah. So,
Short range champs, Sanford, 18th of September.
well, hold on. Let's digest this because the Nationals was cancelled, right?
Yeah.
And so Ilias and I are very upset that the Nationals got cancelled.
Yeah,
So-
I literally moved to Queensland to go to the
Yeah.
Nationals. Yeah.
Pretty much. So, so that's disappointing. But in lieu of that,
Yeah.
we're making an opportunity again. We're thinking about doing a rogue archery retreat, and because we took the week off work anyway,
That
right?
sounds cool.
And doing a rogue archery retreat.
I'm
where we
signed
go and
up.
Train, so.
Yeah, committed, man.
If you guys got ideas, so we're thinking about doing a 5 or 7 day clinic or workshop, going somewhere cool, like in the rainforest. We've got beautiful country here, and then going and doing like a full training clinic or something. So give us your suggestions for that. But what else are we talking about? Upcoming tournaments. We've got some
Yeah.
QREs coming up, so local ranking events.
Mm.
We've got the state short range championships in 2 weeks,
Sanford, 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
And that's a clout as well, yeah? On the same weekend?
Yeah, I don't know how seriously we take that.
Yeah, well,
Are you shooting that?
well
I'll
no.
teach you.
Well, I'd like to just shoot, man. Like, I'm here now. I want to get out there and just shoot as much as I can.
All right, I've never shot cloud in my life, so Sarah can teach you how to
I've
shoot
got
cloud.
gear at your place. We could string a bow together between us. for
You can use
clout.
your own bow.
All right, I'm open to
And a
that.
safety pin. That's what you need.
With the same arrows as well?
Sure.
All right.
And
What do
did
they mean
Oh,
to you?
let's shoot
What do
it.
they mean to you?
What do you mean?
Thanks, Marcus, mate. And DJ's asking, DJ said, yeah, we should make a YouTube video about us doing non-dominant hand. And
Oh yeah, that'd
Like
be
left
fun.
hand, the left hand. Oh yeah, I like that idea.
actually, I feel like what we should do is we should round up like some archers at like a competition
Mm.
and get them all to shoot with their non-dominant hand and do a ranking event.
Mhm.
Like
I've got
full
a feeling I'd beat people with that, man.
Oh, I love the
Yeah,
confidence.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
I've spent a lot of time doing left-handed dexterity stuff in my life, so just saying.
No, that's good.
Um,
And Sarah's technically left eye dominant, so she's gonna kick my ass. And yeah, so that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, thanks, man. I love that. What else we got? Marcus, what you got? What you say?
He said cloud is relaxing.
Nah.
Yeah.
Who's got 6 hours spare, Marcus? Come on.
I don't know. Okay, if I was gonna go out there and shoot my arrows into the dirt, I would want to shoot a trad bow. Like, okay,
Okay.
clout with a trad bow makes sense to me.
So run that. What is a trad bow? bro?
Traditional bow, like your long bow that you got at the medieval festival,
Okay. I see what you're saying.
because there's like relevance.
Without the mirrors and stuff and
Yeah,
blah,
like
blah.
forget all that crap and
Wow.
just get like a
Instinct.
traditional. Whereas trad recurve, trad longbow, I could see that happening. Because I can stand there and I'll even get in costume and pretend like I'm being under cavalry charged or something. But I can sort of get that.
If you do that, bro, I'll match you. All right, I like it. I like what you're saying.
I got the
but-
costume. I got the costume listed.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna shoot the clout.
So how do
I'm
we go
committing now.
from
Okay.
not shooting
I'm
clout
gonna
to now we're doing
Okay.
a themed clout?
Full regalia.
Full regalia, trad style.
Greek pirate.
Greek
All
pirate.
right, I will rock up in. Yeah, done. Let's get the bow sorted, and I'll rock up with that
Anyway.
gear on.
What I was saying before is if there's anything 10 minutes ago, is there anything that this live stream wants to see. We were thinking about doing a string making workshop. We were thinking about doing bow setups we were talking about before. How to tune your bow.
Yoga for archery from
You had a good one
Ilias.
before about eye dominance and things like that. So maybe we could do a workshop on that as well. But if there's anything you want to see, let us know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got heaps of stuff. All right, should we?
I think it was good, man.
Good
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. The support, the love, and the curiosity. I enjoyed doing this.
This is fun. Actually, this worked out well. Even though we just sat down and had a chat.
It was going to be 10 minutes, and what are we talking? Like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Something like
actually, quite a long time.
I've got to disclose something live now.
Go ahead.
I beat Jarryd yesterday.
You beat me for the first
Yes.
time, but I beat you today.
Yeah, all right.
Well done, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
By
Boom.
1 point.
Wow.
But we all beat Sarah by 1 point.
By
Ilya.
1 point.
Yeah, by 1 point. So yeah, good shooting for you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
if it was mixed, then yes, they beat me by 1 point.
All right.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, let's do this. Boom, boom.
Okay,
See you
guys.
See ya.
Boom.